Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. We are outside. It is time for a brand new series. We're going barbecue. Now I've partnered up with Charbroil and Beefsteak Club. So the guys together make for an amazing barbecue. So hold on tight. It's going to be a good series, okay? We're going to start with a beautiful lamb dish. Meatballs, Greek style, of course. It's going to be absolutely delicious. And then I'm going to share with you a wonderful little recipe we've got in our new book. It is lamb rump and nectarine kebabs with a beautiful pistachio and feta dip and flatbreads. But first, Greek style meatballs. Right, barbecue time. So we're going to do these beautiful lamb meatballs and we're going to cook it on this amazing barbecue. This is gas to coal, all right? So you can cook both ways. So you can just flick the gas on and it's hot in 10 minutes or less. Or you can put coal in there and get that lovely smoky flavour. Within the series, we're going to show you both ways of cooking. And more exciting is if you tune into the end of this episode, you will find out how to enter a competition, and Charbroil, the lovely people at Charbroil, are going to send one person this barbecue, or not this one because obviously I've used it. They're going to send the winner one of these wonderful gas to coal barbecues. So stay tuned and you will get a chance to win it. All right? Right, let's get on with a bit of cooking. So, lamb meatballs. This is kind of like Greek. Think Greek holidays, and it's all inspired by that, but it's the convenience of it all just cooking in a beautiful tray. All right? So we're also going to be using loads of masterclass gear. They've got some amazing new barbecue equipment that I'm going to be using throughout the series. So if ever you see anything that I'm using, supposed to comment in below, ask where it's from. If you want one of them, you can get it from cookserveandenjoy.com, all right? So we've kind of partnered up with a few people to make this series happen. So I've got 500 grams of lamb mince in there. We're going to flavour it up.
Could you use anything other than lamb mince if you can't get access to it?
Yeah, totally. I'm using lamb because it's incredibly traditional with Greek food. If you want to use beef, absolutely fine. Do you know what? You can even buy quite good plant-based meatballs and skip this bit if you don't eat meat. That's absolutely fine because you'll enjoy the whole thing, I promise you. So let's get some garlic in there first. So the wind will just get rid of my garlic skins for me, which is quite nice. So just crack the garlic and unwrap the skin. I've got two here. I'm going to show you why in a second. So I've got one to add to the meatballs. So let's just chop that up nice and fine. It's all the best things about Greek food, this recipe. Okay, a little bit more chop. Now remember, if you've got any questions about anything, just post it in the comments below. You will get an answer from me pretty quickly. I'm pretty good at that sort of thing these days. So in with our garlic, dried oregano. Now, dried herbs, as Emily will know, I have a bit of a bugbear with, apart from a few items. Dried oregano is great. Dried mint is great. And then that's it. All right, that's your lot. Everything else, fresh is best. So, teaspoon of each in those. No. Okay, I'm going to put that to one side for a second. Let me introduce you to this. So this is one of Masterclass's new pieces of kit. So it is a bottle, but it's really clever because you've got a brush that it goes with for basting and marinating and brushing flavour. You've got an injector so you can inject like liquid back into like chicken on the barbecue, things like that. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make myself a flavoured oil to barbecue with. So I've got rosemary going in there. straight from the garden, plenty of. And then I've got a clove of garlic. Just cut it down the middle like that. So I've kind of opened it out like that and then drop that in. Now you would think that would just get all jammed up, wouldn't you? Yeah? When you're pouring it. But they've got this very clever little thing. It's like a little cage that stops all the bits pouring into the spout. So what we've got now is
get the oil
through. Yeah, oil and garlic, full of flavour, and it won't jam the spout, and then I can just drizzle a bit of oil in there. Done. And that will get better and better every day with flavour. So we're going to use that for the whole series.
What else could you use in that, like flavour-wise?
Do you know what? You could make dressings, you can make like chili oils, you can do herb oils, all sorts of stuff. It's really good, and you can interchange it with this. You could put salad dressing into a chicken that we're going to spatchcock, something like that, and get like loads of lemon, olive oil, garlic, rosemary, all that sort of stuff. But I'll show you how to use those as the series goes on. Okay? Right, now, the thing with lamb is it can be quite fatty, okay? And if you just roll those meatballs, it'd be fine. There'll be no problems. But you will get a lot of fat in the bottom of the dish. Now, to avoid that, we're going to add some breadcrumbs. So this is just a bit of sourdough that was left over in our house. We keep them in these sort of Ziploc bags, chuck them in the freezer, and then I've always got them. Okay? So what that will do is that will absorb the juices and help it all hold together as a actual meatball, okay? So you don't end up with it being really greasy, which I know sometimes people are like with lamb, oh, it's a bit too fatty, it's this, but this is a great way to avoid that. Okay, little bit of salt, black pepper in there, little pinch of salt, and then just scrunch it up like that. Okay, you see that all right? Okay, there we go. So these would make amazing like lamb koftas, burgers, whatever you like, but we're just going to turn them into little meatballs. So try and make them even, all similar size, and then just chuck them in the roasting tray.
Can you do on top of the chopping board, please?
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just roll them up. Let's move this over here and pop them in. So the idea is to make them not too big, so that they cook in the same time as everything else. And what we don't want is like all the tomatoes to have cooked down and be all mushy. We want everything to cook quite quickly, okay? So don't make them too big. Right, last couple of meatballs now. So you could get these ready, you could get this whole thing ready in advance. If you're having a barbecue, you know, in the afternoon or the evening, get this done either the night before or that morning. And once it's all done and ready, all you got to do is just whack it under the barbecue. On the barbecue even. Right, I'm just going to wash my hands and I'll be straight back. Right, so now we've got, look at these beauties. All right. I bought these today in Booths, our local supermarket. So we got, this is the selection of the first season best of British, basically. So we've got some little San Mazzanos, you've got some little cherries, some bigger vine tomatoes, and then you've got some lovely little golden sweet ones. These, the cherries, don't cut them, just chuck them straight in, yeah? Just pick them straight off the vine.
Is there any tomatoes that you should avoid?
I would avoid the big beef tomatoes, you know, the really big bad boys, those ones, because they just won't cook in the time that the meatballs cook. And you want everything to kind of just cook together and be just cooked. So these lovely little San Mazzanos, just straight in as they are. If they're a bit bigger than your meatballs, cut them, okay? And basically what we're trying to do is just create everything that you would get if you're sat in a taverna on a Greek island. So, oh, I know, don't we just? So tomatoes, just plonk them in half, really. Because I don't want them to be mush. I want them still to be tomatoes, if you know what I mean. Not tomato sauce. I love cooking outside because I can just throw like tomato vines and bits of herbs, just chuck them on the floor. Love it. Nice to be outside cooking. In the warm, in my t-shirt, Emily.
Yes, absolutely. Summer
If I told you Emily's under a blanket at the moment. Me and Carlos, we're manning up.
So cool.
Right, lemon. Greek food loves lemon, all right? And we're going to squeeze these out over the dish when it's all cooked. But just slot everything in. This is in our new book, Pita Sidwell's Kitchen. So if you do want the recipe, you can get our new book. It's out in September, all right? But you can pre-order it on our website. Carlos will have a little QR code down the side, I would imagine. Or an address to our website. So if you do want our book, you can get it there. So I'm going to cut these into eighths because we want these to sort of be al dente, you know, like half cooked. So there's still a bit of crispness and a bit of crunch. And these are the things you kind of want to think about when you're doing this dish. And then just peel the outer layer off and in it goes. So it's a dead easy way of doing all this. Now my tip, if you are going to do this the night before, make sure you wrap this up well because otherwise your fridge is going to stink of onions, all right? I'll let you, don't make the same mistake I've made over the years. So wrap it well or leave the onions till the last minute and then just pop them all in, okay? So get rid of that. Do you want this on here, Carlos? Is that a little bit better?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, so let's season this up. A little bit of salt on there. Some pepper. That's it. And then a little bit more dried mint. Mint is the thing that kind of brings all this together, I think. And then let's grab some of our oil that's got garlic and rosemary in. It's going to be your best friend on a barbecue, this, once you've made it up. So give it a good drizzle. And that oil and that lemon juice is going to create a warm dressing. So we can get some nice pita bread and just dunk it, mop it all up. If your plates aren't looking like they've just come out of the dishwasher when you've finished this, you've not mopped up enough. Okay, and then olives, because we need olives, don't we? If you're going to have some Greek food, a Greek salad, something like that, you need those lovely black olives to go with it, okay? So, pitted is a good idea. Because you can guarantee you'll forget. You'll whack this on the barbecue, you'll have a glass of wine, you know, chat to your friends, and before you know it, you'll be on your way to the emergency dentist to have a new crown or something like that. Right, charbroil is on. This has taken 10 minutes to get up to 200 degrees. It's impressed me, all right? I'm well impressed by that. So, give this a good shake. Get all the flavours going, all right? Can I show you like that? Yeah? Look at that. How colourful does that look? That is just everything you need. Now, if you didn't want to do meatballs, you could do pieces of chicken breast in there or chicken thighs. You could do vegetarian meatballs if you wanted to put those in there. You know, you could do chicken mince, make them like that. You can make beef ones if you'd prefer. So there's loads of options, okay? And you don't have to go Greek. You could go Italian. You could go Spanish. You can kind of dive, duck and weave wherever you like throughout the Med and make this, and it will work. Just think about the flavours of that sort of country and what they would work with. You know, you want to put paprika in there if you're going to Spanish, and red peppers and tomatoes and onions, and maybe lose the lemons. And do it that way, and maybe a little bit of sherry vinegar would be nice, and just let it all braise down. That'd be beautiful. If you wanted to go Italian, you know, you could do, you could put rosemary in there instead of mint. Maybe lift the lemons out again, you know, and just put loads of garlic bulbs in there and everything. It would just work beautifully. Finish it with some balsamic vinegar. You get amazing flavour. Now, I've got half the grill on, so I've gone gas today. On other episodes, I'm going to show you how to use coal on this. Okay, so it's incredibly versatile. And then we're just going to whack it on here. So I'm just going to let that cook. I'm going to close the lid down. So the thermometer at the top is telling me it's 200 degrees. So that's going to cook in like 20 minutes. Once the meat is perfectly cooked, so the meatballs need to be above 75 degrees, okay? The rest of it is all good. It's the meatballs that you got to check. So there's two ways that you can do that. You can press it, and as long as they're firm, or cut one open, have a visual check, make sure it's cooked, or use a digital thermometer. All right, I have these in my kitchen. You can get these from Masterclass, cookserveandenjoy.com. They are a godsend. They give you accurate information. You know that they're cooked in the center and then you don't have to guess. Okay, so we're gonna let that cook. While that's cooking, let me share with you how to make the most delicious rump of lamb and nectarine kebabs with a feta dip and amazing flatbreads. Time to share another delicious little recipe with you. This actually comes from Peter Sidwell's Kitchen Cookbook. It is lamb with nectarine, served on a flatbread with pistachio and feta dip. But first, I'm going to treat myself to a little glass of wine. So we're going Beefsteak Club Sauvignon Blanc on this one. It's crisp, it's fruity. It's going to work really well with the fruit and the lamb. Okay, so. Okay, let's start with the lamb. Now, I've nipped down to my supermarket in Keswick and I have bought some lovely pieces of Herdwick lamb. Now, the recipe says rump, but you can also use the lamb chop, which I was able to get. It was on offer, which is why I've used it today. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut those little pieces away and then just slice the lamb in half, okay? Because we're going to put it with peaches, it doesn't need a long cook because the peaches just need to caramelize really. So I'm just going to cut into pieces like that, knowing that once they're on the grill, and we're using the charbroil, little mobile charbroil today, which is lovely. It's going to be perfect for this. So that is at just over 250 degrees, so it'll be a really nice high heat, a good sear. It'll be lovely. Okay, so that is our lamb. Then the fat pieces, I'm just going to score those to make sure they render quickly, because everything's going to cook quite quickly, or you can cut the fat away if you want to. It's entirely up to you. They're done. One more piece, so just score that fat, and that will help it cook. Right, let's just get that out of the way for now. Okay, so got my barbecue oil here. So this is one of Masterclass's little barbecue gadgets this year. So it's an oil bottle, but I can also turn it into a brush. So I've got rosemary, black pepper, and olive oil in here. So I'm just gonna brush it on. Lots of flavor. And then we're gonna season it up. And we've got a really nice little interesting marinade here. So I've got some ground coriander. Okay, so I'm just going to carefully scatter it so you don't end up with like a massive lump. I've got some cumin seeds. Now you can use ground cumin if you like. I like the seeds. I like it when you crunch down on them and you get that delicious flavour. Then we're going to add some sea salt. Nice bit of Maldon sea salt. Some cracked pepper. And then I've got some sesame seeds. All right. So that is just going to give you a really lovely all-round marinade. Just mash it up, okay? Like so. And those flavours, they're not going to be like full-on blow your head off. They're quite aromatic. Okay, we're going to prepare our peaches now, but first I want a bit of rosemary. Rosemary and peach. Now, my recipe in the book is with nectarine, but you can use either. When I went to the supermarket, the peaches looked amazing. So that's what I've chosen, but you can go for either. And they love a bit of rosemary, okay? As does lamb, we all know that. There we go. Delicious. Right, let's take our peaches. So just cut and roll around the stone. All right, and then just give it a little twist. If they're ripe, they come out as easily as that. All right. And then, if you're lucky, stone will come out really easily as well. Am I lucky? Yes, I am. There we go. We'll plant that and hope it grows. So I'm just going to cut them into thirds in each half. So you're going to get 6 pieces out of each peach or nectarine. There we go. Give it a little twist. If they're really, really ripe, I would just eat them. So you need to pick the right fruit ripeness. Okay, so now let's just sprinkle our rosemary on there. And then we'll also grab a little bit of our oil. So you can squeeze it out and brush it on. And I'm going to be cooking these, so I'm not worried about that fact that I put it on the lamb as well. Okay? Perfect. Now, Masterclass have come out with this amazing sort of marinating container actually. So you get skewers as well, and then you can just marinate everything up, store it in the fridge overnight, and then skewer them up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some peach, take some lamb, put that through, another piece of peach, and then another piece of lamb, and then just keep going. You can either do one great big one, or you can do lots of little ones. It's entirely up to you. Whatever sort of works for you. So there you go, there's 4. And then I'm just going to sit that on there. And I'm going to do another one. So, peach, lamb, peach, lamb. 1, 2, 3. Get my numbers right. There we go. In fact, I'm going to go with that piece there. There we go, and another piece on there. And then just drop it on there. Okay, and then one more. So I like 3s, don't we?
No.
We like our 3s. Okay, so in that goes. Just lamb and fruit work incredibly well together. They really do. And you wait till I show you what we're going to serve it up with. It's a good recipe, this one out of the book. Really good. So just mop up any of that rosemary. Don't let that go to waste. I'll do the same again there. Just mop up every little bit of flavour you can. Don't let it go to waste. There we go. Right. So you can see how this container works really, really well. Now you could sit them in a marinade all night and then just drop them onto here. There we go. And then I'm just going to drizzle them with some oil. And then I'm just going to get a little bit of salt because I want some salt on those peaches. Yeah? And then that little bit of seasoning. And then we are good to cook. Now, charbroil, nice and hot. Look at that. You want it really hot because you want everything to sear. And then just level it out and then just drop them on there. Look at that. Lovely. Perfect. Just make sure those skewers just sit inside the parameter of the lid so that we can shut it down. We'll get rid of that. How good does that look? Looks amazing. Really, really nice. So don't touch it, just let it sear. You want it to hit the hot bars and start to sear and caramelize. Right, I'm going to share with you a wonderful recipe that goes so well with the lamb. It's a feta, pistachio and mint dip. It's delicious whether you're having it with the lamb or not, but it works really, really well. So, pistachios, shelled and ready to go in the bottom of my little hand food processor. Just get that out. And then we're going to add some garlic. So just 1 small clove, because it's going in raw, it will be really strong. And it just looks like a really pathetic amount of garlic, but I promise you, it'll be strong enough, because if you add too much garlic, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So 1 piddly little clove, all right? And then we're going to add in some fresh mint, picked from the garden. And then we're going to add some coriander, not from the garden. Okay, but we're going to make sure that we use the stalk and the leaf on this one, because the stalk has got bags and bags of flavour. And we're blending it up, so that's exactly what we want. So we'll just give it a head start, chop it up. Okay, In we go. Right, let's get this going first before we add anything else. Love this food processor. Proper old school. Right, you ready to see inside, Emily? Look, super blended. We're now going to add the liquid, which will then take it down even smoother. Some good extra virgin olive oil in there. 2 or 3 tablespoons should be fine. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, but no salt, because we're going to add some feta cheese. And feta cheese is sort of slightly salty by sheer nature. So we don't want to add salt and then feta and then find that it's too salty. Okay? So I'm going to go half a block. All right, but I would make twice as much as you need of this because it's delicious. It is really, really good. And then the juice of half a lemon. Okay. Right. Lid back on and blend. Look at that. Look at that amazing dip. The colour on that is absolutely stunning. Flavour is incredible, I promise. There we go. We've got a couple of flatbreads. I made these on the grill. Really simple. Go to my website, petersidwell.com, find a basic bread recipe, and then just ball them out into like 150 gram portions, roll them out, and either cook them on a frying pan in the house or cook them on the grill. Okay, so let's take some of this amazing dip and then straight down the middle. Okay? Look at that. It looks so good. And then we will take some of our lamb. And look, it's just come easily off. And then just slide it out. There we go. Let's take a few coriander leaves on there. A little bit more lemon juice. Always makes it absolutely delicious. And I'm just going to hit it with a final few sesame seeds. And there you go. That is how you make the most incredible lamb and peach flatbreads with a pistachio and feta dip. Hey, meatballs are cooked, so oven gloves on. Don't forget that. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. All cooked. Tomatoes just cooked. So I can see what happens is they just get hot enough and then they just blister and burst just a little bit. So they've still got a bit of bite. Now get your tongs and get your lemons. Can you see those? They're a bit hot, which is why I should be using tongs better. And then just give them a really good squeeze, all right? Because that's going to just balance out the juices, okay? There we go, mush them up. There we go. Right, now, fresh mint. Let me just grab some from the garden. So this is actually Moroccan mint and it's stronger in flavour. It's lovely, really, really nice. And then just chop it. There's nothing better than just picking stuff straight out of the garden and just whacking it straight into your dinner. I love it. Okay, so fresh mint, in we go. That'll just give a really beautiful fragrance. And then I've got some feta. And we're just going to crumble it just a little bit. And it gives it a little bit of sort of tanginess. And you don't want loads, okay? So you just want to sort of crumble it up in your hands. What do you think of this, Emily? Is this your kind of food? Yeah. You liking this?
Yeah, I feel like it's a nice one for everybody to be able to like tuck in around the table.
It is. It's like low maintenance, easy for the barbecuer to then plonk in the middle of the table and then just sit and enjoy instead of having to put like, whip everything off the grill, get everything on plates, get it onto the table. Just take the whole thing and off you go. Might have to have a little taste for you. So, I would always encourage not burning yourself. Stop laughing, Emily. You're just mean. That is so good. That just brings every single ingredient in there wants to be together. Do you know what I mean? Now, to serve up with this, I thought we'd make a beautiful sangria. Now, Carlos introduced us to white sangria. You'll have all had the red, I'm sure, on holiday, but Carlos was like, do you know what? Try white. That's where the style sangria he has. And we thought we'd take Beefsteak Club Chardonnay and we'd mix it up with some lemon, some peach. It's absolutely delicious. Here's how I make it. Right, so that's how you make it. It's lovely, it's summery, it's fresh, it's delicious. Let me get some peach in there as well. Absolutely delicious. White sangria, who knew? Absolutely delicious. Look out for it in the shops. It is absolutely beautiful wine. Crisp, clean, fresh, fruity, amazing as a sangria, or just drink it as it is. Try it with these beautiful lamb meatballs. Now, don't forget, if you want a chance to win this barbecue, or exactly the same as this barbecue, please like, share and subscribe to our page, as well as Charbroil UK, Emily, is it?
Yes.
Charbroil UK, pay them a visit, like their page, enter into the competition. We'll have a random selector name out of the hat, and we will send you a Charbroil gas to coal barbecue. It'll be amazing, but you have to promise me you send me some images of you cooking on your barbecue as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.